there's a realization that goes hand in hand with anything you could ever want. And it's that nothing in life is simply deserved. Success has never been about entitlement or what you feel is owed to you. It's about what you take. See, every cause has an effect. Every journey has its milestones, and every victory has a beginning. And right now begins yours. Not in some blown-up, cinematic Hollywood sense, but in a decision to separate from your past, your mistakes and misconceptions. They are not what you are made of. The hardest thing to understand is that you are your future, the space between where you currently stand and your greatest dreams. And every step along the way is who you are. That's what defines you, your pursuit. Your future rests on the decision to conquer right now. Create the world you need to be the change you so desperately want. There are an infinite number of ways to succeed. Infinite. But there is only one way to fail. And that's standing still. Embrace life with open arms. It's giving you everything you need. It is your answer. The narrow existence right in front of you is not life. Life is the opportunity outside your door. The pure ecstasy of moving day in and day out towards your dreams, towards your ideal existence. That's what makes your highs higher and makes your lows feel like the cost of admission. It is a cheap price to pay for the ability to turn an average Tuesday into your wildest dreams. It's not a requirement, it's a gift. You get to see how far you can go, how much you can achieve, and if you want it bad enough, you will step on your limits like they are a never-ending staircase. Your journey is infinite, and so is your potential. What you want is not behind, it is not who you used to be or what you used to do. It's your very next step. Where is your finish line? What is your maximum effort? Think about that question. What is your indication that you've hit your peak? It's an interesting question because when you look closely, you'll find that there truly is no answer. Right? People point to fatigue, being tired, maybe they're happy with the result, but it still leaves the question unanswered. What is your limit? There's no automatic mechanism that shuts us down when we've given everything we have, when we've done all we can do. It's not like a glass of water that reaches the top and overflows. For human potential, think bigger. Think of an ocean. How many buckets of water could you pour into an ocean before it couldn't physically hold any more liquid? What is the number? No one knows exactly. You can stop at 1,000 buckets, at 1,000,000, at 1,000,000,000,000, but at some point, you'll have poured the last bucket and stopped. And the question remains, at that moment, could you have added one more? That is human potential. It's mind-blowing. Every time you've thought you've given your all, you were lying to yourself. And not in the sense that you weren't trying hard, or what you did wasn't important, but in the sense that you artificially created your own finish line. You determined your stopping point. Not the laws of nature, not some unearthly being. You dictated your limit. I had an old coach who used to reference Roger Bannister. He was the first person to break the 4-minute mile, a feat that at the time was simply unheard of. So what happens? He accomplishes this goal, And suddenly people start doing it all over the world. Rapid fire. In a very short amount of time. Why? Because it became real. People had living proof that it was possible. 4 minutes, what is that? It's an artificial stopping point, a self-created limit. It does not exist. Just like the reason you think you can't write the next best-selling book, or the reason you go to a job you hate every day, because you've settled. You've limited your potential without even realizing it. Why would you cut yourself off there? There's so much more to obtain, so much more to achieve, so much waiting. Man, life is just too short to not make the most out of it. To get in the way of your own greatness. Why would you decide to wake up every day and not feel like it was the best gift possible? Not take advantage? Why would you limit that for yourself? There will be times when you struggle, there will be tough days, there will be times of self-doubt. But let it all fall to the wayside. See past it. Your destiny lies far beyond any self-made wall. Take that with you. When you ask people what they think stands between them and their goals, there are some pretty common responses. Inexperience, fear, maybe hesitation, time management. These are obstacles we all have to overcome, right? Certainly they're all valid, they're all very real. And I recently took this question, spent some time with it. In terms of my own progress, I looked back at the past year and a half, starting from the inception of Your World Within to right now. Substantial progress been made. I'm happy with where I am, but at the same time, there were periods of stagnation where maybe the wheels weren't turning as fast as I'd like them to. So now that some time's passed, I have the luxury of examining my lessons learned. And of all of them, the most important is the realization that perfection is a myth. And not only a myth, but it's deceitful. It's detrimental to success. See, perfection is, by its very definition, flawless. And in theory, that's ideal. That's what we want. But in reality, it's impossible. Our value lies not in chasing around this false idea of perfection, but in making progress. If you succumb to the idea of perfect, you're establishing an expectation that cannot be satisfied. You aren't allowing yourself to dive in, to gain momentum, to take flight, because you're questioning your judgment. You're holding back. You aren't putting yourself out there. If you're not perfect, if your work isn't perfect, you don't want it to be seen. But perfect isn't real. The only way to obtain excellence is to move with what you have right now. No, you won't be flawless, but you can improve every single day. There's great benefit to creating something, throwing it against a wall and seeing if it sticks. If it does, great, that's a win. If it doesn't, you regroup, you reassess, and you throw it again. That's growth. And some growth is always better than no growth. Over the course of my life, I probably can't count the amount of times I've said the phrase, Rome wasn't built in a day. But I've never found a situation where it applied so directly, because you don't build a city, right? You create buildings, you design roads, and everything converges to become a city. Those sequences of events, trials and errors, growth, that becomes your Rome. So it would be crazy for your expectations not to be managed accordingly. If your plan was to become fit, but you won't even step into the gym because you don't look like Brad Pitt in Troy, you're not gonna go anywhere, right? To get to that level, you need to first allow yourself to be vulnerable, to step into the situation and learn, evolve into that vision you have for yourself. Another example that reinforces this point is an interview I saw recently with Ed Sheeran. He's talking about his first shows, the first music he ever wrote. Playing it for his audience. He still has the recordings, and they're horrible. But that's what got him where he is now, right? That determination, that progress. He wasn't intimidated to get out there and grow. And now we can sit back, reflect and joke a little bit about his journey. Missed opportunity, regret, that rarely comes from going too fast, from being too adventurous. It comes from being too conservative. Whereas when I look at my greatest accomplishments, the creations I'm most proud of, sure, networking, research, experience played a role, but more than anything, it was having the trust in myself to start, to begin, to acknowledge that, yes, I am flawed, but I accept it. Because those flaws are the seeds that enable something truly unique to transpire. And now comes the part I enjoy, right? Where I can take my acquired wisdom and share it with you, because I guarantee every single person listening to this has something they're hesitant to start, to do, or to become. Never lose sight of the fact that a goal takes time. There's something you grow into. But you need to first allow yourself to take that leap, right? As far as I'm concerned, the only perfect thing in existence is the current moment. Because it is the first step to everything you could ever want.
Treadmill. I don't feel as good as I normally feel. My leg hurts. Sometimes I'm sick. But this is a physical sport. And if you want it, you gotta go get it. You gotta play hard for it. Are you hearing what I'm telling you? Because if you quit right now, you ain't gonna never see it. No days off, no weekends, no holidays, no birthdays, listen to me, no days off. You gotta take one more step. You gotta run one more lap. You gotta throw one more punch until you die.
The thing about time is that it comes and goes. Tomorrow will make today a distant memory, and as quick as you were here, you'll be gone. What's in front of you is an opportunity to make right now something you'll never forget. You have the ability to write history, to create a story that will live with you forever. Think back to all the days leading up to today. All the training, the hours of preparation, the pain you felt. They have brought you to this moment. They are the armor that you wear. Right now is about execution. It's about taking all those hours and turning them into the best version of yourself. Today is about being better than you ever dreamed you could be. These are the moments you live for. Gone are the insecurities, the doubt, the disbelief. This day is yours. Look your opponents in the eye. They cannot give what you can. You have built this opportunity piece by piece. You have created an unstoppable force, and it's finally time to reveal that to the world. Let people doubt you. They'll see with time. Let the obstacles stand. You will run right through them. Let everything in this universe tell you no. You have already told yourself yes. The hardest thing in this world to stop is someone who knows they've won before the game has started. This is your everything. Embrace it. Make it so that you never forget today. You are the god of your world, and in your world, you write the script. There is no tired. You left that in the weight room years ago. There is no unsure. Pushing yourself to exhaustion every day took care of that. There is only when. When do you rise up? There comes a point when you've just given too much. Your sacrifice is too great to accept anything but the very best. Everything else is noise. This is your day. It will not disappear with time. It will live on. You have earned today. Go make sure the world knows. What does it mean to give 100% effort on something? Is it possible to say with absolute certainty that you couldn't have done better? How do you know that you couldn't have run 1 second faster, done 1 more rep, scored 1 point higher? How do you know that there wasn't more in you to give? In terms of human potential, there is no such thing as a limit. It's a fabricated, completely negative, debilitating idea. So why? Why in a million years would you put obstacles in front of yourself that aren't there? In reality, you can always be 1 step better, 1 step further than you are now. That's a fact. And simply knowing that knocks down walls. It opens doors for you to make moves, to progress. Warren Buffett has a great quote on maximizing effort. He's speaking from a business standpoint, and he says the one thing that is absolutely sure to kill a business is complacency. Being comfortable with where you are, thinking that your current effort is sufficient, that it's enough. It isn't. And if you get comfortable, someone willing to pay a steeper price will come along and take what's yours. But regardless of your situation, there are positively untapped opportunities to move quicker, to be better. And these opportunities, they just sit there, and they'll sit there for an eternity if you don't recognize them and utilize them. I'll use the example of an athlete. When you break it down, an athlete's work is comprised of physical training, you have the mental component, their diet. And to say you want to be the best is one thing, but if you can't strip down your goal into these simple components and ask yourself, how can I be a little better in each area? You won't grow to the level you're capable of. You won't be the elite athlete. You're missing the key ingredients to success. Even sitting on the couch, watching TV, it's a normal thing, we all do it, you unwind, you relax for a few minutes. But think about taking that half hour and reallocating it. And instead sending 3 emails to people, who have been successful in your field, whether you know them or not. Who have done what you're trying to do. See if you can connect, have a valuable conversation. Maybe it results in nothing. Maybe it creates a relationship that changes your life. Who knows? But I can tell you for damn sure that the TV will not do that. And this is an arbitrary example, but I think it's an important one because it shows that if you truly want something, you'll use every opportunity to get better, even the little ones, because every second is a game changer. Always be asking yourself, what can you be doing differently? What can you be doing better? Never be content with where you are. Be analytical. Be searching for the next step, because there is always a next step. And realizing this is just the beginning.
So you thought it was the end of the story. You thought that one single event, that one single moment was enough for him to stand amongst the greats. Sleep? I don't sleep. You thought that was it? Well, you thought it was over. Well, it's just getting started. This is the part where you reinvent yourself. It's time to get tested, to test your will, your endurance. It's time to test your heart, to test your limits. It's about no days off, no weekends, no holidays, no birthdays. Listen to me, no days off. It's about gaining the competitive edge. You can't afford to make excuses. No excuses. feel pain and trust me, you will feel it. And all you want to do is give up. And all you want to do is give in. When you feel like you've given all you got, you got to take one more step. You got to run one more lap. You got to throw one more punch until you reach the top.
I don't know.
What do you fear?
You know this is your beginning, but this doesn't have to be your end.
Get off the ground.
You can't do nothing without faith. You are still special.
Is it beyond our reach?
No, I'm not afraid. I'm angry.
You can't give in!
Behind every fear is a person you want to be. Fear is self-imposed, meaning it doesn't exist. You create it, you can destroy it. You face your fears, you become the person you want to be. You run from your fears, you're not living. You're alive, but you're not taking the freedom. You're not running the day. The day's running you. We all fall down in life. The question is, who gets back up?
You don't owe these people anymore. You've given them everything.
Not everything. Not yet.
See now what have to become to stop men like him.
If you make yourself more than just a man, if you devote yourself to an ideal, if they can't stop you, then you become something else entirely. Legend.
You go after and you give it all you have. If you lose, at least you try, man. I failed. It's 10 times more of a man than someone said, what if? Because what if never went to the arena?
That's called courage. Now that's the stuff leaders should be made of.
You think something's wrong, maybe it's time to stop. No, it's time to move reinversion. Mentally, you must believe it before you physically start.
I choose to rise, not fall. I choose to live, not die.
The day will be that day. Not tomorrow, not next week, but right now, right here. Belief will change my world. History will remember me. I will define myself. I will never go out. Not knowing I've given everything I got. Because who am I? I am the champion.
I choose to fight back.
I'm coming.
All you need now is a little imagination. And your imagination, guys, whether you want to believe it or not, is a preview of their life's coming attractions. You can't imagine what it's going to be. Don't ever expect physically looking in the mirror to see it.
flight, the very thing reserved for airplanes and superheroes. Up to a point, I'd never given it much thought. Things were what they were. But then I looked up, and I saw what could be. And at that very moment, I took flight. I received no permission, no special instruction. I witnessed no miracle. I simply asked, why not? And the road before me folded like a house of cards. As I look down, I can't help but think, this is not fate, it's not destiny. This is a simple understanding that these legs are the messengers of the mind. That instead of surrendering to reality, I am molding it into my own truth. That every time my foot pushes into the ground, I'm flying further and further.
And I think he's got what it takes. The camera is not at the finish line, don't forget. It stalls back again. He's racing on. Can he deliver? A run starting to fade as well. I think that's his chase at an end. Peter Sagan is going to deliver, and there is no worthier champion on the planet than this man. 200 meters to go. Oh, it's still not over. They're spinning it up like a gun behind him. He knows so he gets out of the saddle. He hits the sleeping policeman. He's still got 150 meters to go. He double checks again. Is he thinking about how to celebrate? Oh, it looks that way. Sagan's gonna make it. Sagan the king. Sagan the world champion. What a race that was, and what a worthy wearer of the rainbows we have. Oh.
Further away from you, from the world, and all the walls it seeks to create. I am of another universe. From outside you see a face, you see flesh and bones, but what you cannot see is the key that I hold that will bring me anywhere, that has no respect for a locked door. I'm here to perplex the pragmatist, to inspire the ambitious, to light a path for the hopeful. This is not me against you, this is me against time, precedence, a number, a minor detail. Against those little things you have to step on to prove that limitations don't apply to you, that rules aren't made for you. This has nothing to do with superiority, nothing's predetermined, this is much simpler. I want more, I will get more, I will do more, because I ask the question, why not? Why run when you can fly? There's a world you know, and there's a world that you don't. And the world you know lays out everything for you perfectly. You know where you need to be, what's expected of you, how to think, how to act. The world you know tells you what's possible. It tells you when you've done enough. Because of this world, you can be sure that you'll get through the day. But I'm not interested in waking up every morning with the goal of just knowing that I'll get through the day. Victory lies outside of your daily routine. It exists in the beliefs that aren't commonly held, in actions that are rarely taken. It lives in the world that you don't know. In this world you don't know, it requires risk. It requires you to turn your back on the word normal and to move towards something new. It means you burn your own trail rather than follow the footsteps of others. And yes, embarking in a journey like this, it does create extra pressure. It does put weight on your shoulders. But I can promise you this, once you have made the trip, you will see the best things that life has to offer. You'll push yourself to places you didn't know existed. You'll step, accomplish, keep moving, as far away from average as possible. Straight toward the top, where you innovate. You turn potential into excellence. You translate emotion into art. You'll exceed expectations again and again and again. Seek out what you don't know. Once you find the strength to stare the unknown in the face, guess what? It's not unknown anymore. Now it's part of you, the very part that's going to push you to the next unknown. And the next, and the next, and the next, and breathe life into you, allow you to live to the fullest. This is how you create excellence. It's how you create a life worth living. So forget the world you know. It means nothing. It's a mirage. It's an illusion. Greatness awaits in the shadows, where people are unwilling to go. It lives in the world that you don't know.